Benjamin Shelby. Hey, Sean, what are your predictions for Blue Beetle, and why do you think it will bomb? Well, yeah, I mean, I think Blue Beetle is going to be dead on arrival. I think it's going to open very soft, and a handful of people will go see it. I don't know what its reviews will be. I bet they'll be pretty modest. I don't think they'll be awful, and I don't think they'll be great. I think you'll probably looking at 60%, just something that little bit different enough, fun enough that some people will like it. Some people find it too generic. No one will love it. No one will hate it. That's where I'm thinking it'll kind of land, is kind of predictions. Why will it bomb? And I think it will. I think that's a fair prediction that the movie will bomb. You got a number of factors in here. The first one is that Blue Beetle is not an A-list character. Blue Beetle is not someone that's been in a movie before, been in live action before. He's been in several animated shows as a side character, so he's just not someone that's immediately known to the public that there's big upfront demand to go check out Blue Beetle. So that's an uphill battle immediately. But that doesn't stop movies from being great or doing great. If you recall, Guardians of the Galaxy, not A-listers until James Gunn and Kevin Feige gave him a movie. Suddenly everybody loves Guardians of the Galaxy. But that's what it took. It came from that. It didn't come from they were so famous in the comics. They became A-listers because of the movies. That hasn't happened to Blue Beetle yet. So first off, Blue Beetle's just not a character with an enormous already built-in demand. Second problem we got here, the trailers aren't fantastic. They just make it feel like, yeah, fun enough, decent enough comic book movie. But familiar. Like you watch it, people are like, oh, it's kind of like DC's Homecoming. Younger, superhero, a little bit of a family vibe to it. And then they say, oh, kind of like Iron Man. There's a person in a suit with powers. But even certain shots in there, there's a bit where he cuts a bus in half. They cut a bus in half in Doctor Strange 2, which is like a really specific thing. You know, there's lots of movies that have big battles in downtowns, but when you're talking about a bus cut right down the middle, that's a unique, specific thing, and that's what they used to sell the movie, was something that we saw in a film last year in this same genre. So it just feels familiar, and there's not like a lot to it that just makes it pop and seem like this is a must-watch film. It's just another comic book movie skewing a little bit younger with a character a lot of people aren't familiar with. And that's the sort of comic book movie that people seem tired of. It doesn't work anymore just to have a comic book movie, a person in a robot suit that can shoot laser beams and stuff like that. They need more. They need something more interesting to convince them that this movie is worth going to go see and not just wait a month until it drops on Max. They need more than that. And these trailers don't have that. There's nothing in the trailers that just screams must see in the theater film. I think that's really going to work against the film. Third one is just the DC fiasco of everything kind of going on with them right now, where the DCU wasn't in a great place, and then they announced we're doing something different. And so everyone's focus is over here. Oh, how's this James Gunn thing going to go? Oh, yeah, then there's the leftovers in 2023. And it's made all of these movies just feel superfluous. They feel like leftovers because that's what they are. These are movies that were intended for a different timeline and universe. And there's people going, oh, well, you know, the director said that this is the first DCU film. Well, James Gunn said this is the first DCU character. Not in the way that matters. Like, okay, James Gunn said, sure, you can join my thing over here. This was not made to be a DCU film. This was made before DCU. So it feels like one of the leftovers that they just have to release before they move on to the stuff that they actually care about. And that killed Shazam 2, killed The Flash. I think it's going to kill this movie, and it's going to kill Aquaman. it just makes all of these feel like movies that, what's the point in checking this out? Why even bother in light of all this other stuff? So I think it's going to be dead on arrival for all of those reasons. It's not an A-list character. The trailers don't have like a wow factor or a great hook to them. And people just aren't really interested in DC leftovers. They want to see this, what they're going to do next. So I think it's going dead on arrival.
Most of these clips are pulled from my weekly Patreon live stream. Join at any level and you can join the chat and ask all the questions you want. That's for as little as $2 per month. For $5 per month, you can get your name on my end card. For $25 per month, you can have a monthly video chat with me. Link is in the description for more details, and keep talking movies and TV too much.